Good afternoon, I'm Tyler Fardell with 2NURFM Hunter News. Since 1997, Shepherd's Hill Cottage has been home to the Marine Rescue Newcastle, but due to storm damage in 2015, they'll need to find a new home. Newcastle City Council has informed the organisation they can no longer move back into the cottage after they believe they could once it was repaired. Marine Rescue Newcastle Graham Silcock says they weren't expecting to search for more accommodation.
Courtesy of council, for which we're appreciative at Warrabrook, but we weren't looking at finding alternate accommodation in the expectation that we'd get back to Shepherd's Hill sometime soon.
Hunter parents who have not vaccinated their children will be unable to enrol them in childcare from January 2018. Previously, parents were able to claim the conscientious objector option, but this will be scrapped by the new rules which aim to reduce the risk of whooping cough and meningococcal. Director for Communicable Diseases at New South Wales Health, Vicky Shepherd, says parents shouldn't have too much to worry about though, with more than 95% of children in the Hunter fully immunised at 5 years old.
The Hunter is a very strong region for vaccination in New South Wales and routinely have amongst the highest coverage rates for vaccination in New South Wales.
One of the first orders of business for Dungog's newly elected council will be deciding on whether a council merger will proceed. More than 54% of voters indicated they supported with the merger with Port Stephens, with 70% voting against splitting the district into surrounding councils. During the last term, councils voted against this merger, resulting in more than 4 resignations and a loss of quorum in June. Newcastle MP Tim Crackenthorpe is calling for something to be done with the city's train heritage. It comes after Richmond Vale lost a lot of its stock in a ferocious fire this week, and Broadmeadows Railway Locomotive Depot remains off the heritage list. Tim Crackenthorpe says the city is missing out because the government falls back on their promises.
In 2013, the government had a grand plan for our rail tourism heritage, and they are looking specifically at the site at Broadmeadow to, get enthusiast families and volunteers to make a great job of that beautifully state heritage listed site and the railway carriages in it.
A new workforce initiative has been launched in Newcastle this morning, which will help TAFE students to be better equipped for the workforce. SkillPoints HQ will enable employers and industries to work together and create highly relevant training courses focusing on manufacturing, robotics and science. The SkillPoints Hub will be a responsive single point of contact between students and industry leaders with state-of-the-art designing and learning resources. And briefly, the fire on Ash Island is now within containment lines. It has burnt through around 8 hectares of grass and 40 crews and a dozen trucks are still on the scene, keeping the blaze at bay. It's believed to have started just after 6 o'clock, sparked by a car set alight in bushland.
Sport for our sponsor, PRD Nationwide East Maitland.
Night star Dane Gagai has been selected by coach Mal Meninga for the end-of-season Prime Minister's 13 match in PNG. It comes off the back of a stellar season in both club and representative football, where he won Origin Player of the Series with Queensland. The match will take place later this month and contains players not involved in the NRL finals. Locally, Central have pulled off a massive coup on the eve of their preliminary final, securing West Premiership captain Jermaine Ale for next season. Ale is just one of a number of big signings for the club, with former Gold Coast Titan Shane Gray also putting pen to paper. The Butcher Boys will line up against Macquarie on Sunday in a bid to make their first grand final in 54 years. And in today's Newcastle Cup, the Darren Weir-trained Packardaley is tipped as to beat one of the Group 3 prize. It'll start favourite with Damien Lane to carry 55 kilos aboard the mount. Local hero Chris Lees has 3 chances for the Cup, a race he has yet to tick off in his illustrious career. That's sport. I'm Jessica Rouse.
2NURFM News Time is 10 past 12.